morning, and welcome. Guess what? It's Thursday. The sun decided to shine. That means we're talking cars. It's Car Talk with Brad Doenges. How you doing, Brad?
It's another beautiful morning for Car Talk. Hello, friends. Good morning. Tom, I'm doing great. It's great to have this cool weather and relatively nice days for August. Some rain. The grass is growing like crazy in my yard.
After it rained, you can smell the grass grow.
First day of school, too. It's my youngest son's senior year.
Wow.
His first day of school. And it's amazing to me. It's remarkable. I've got Kristie Hewitt here from Children's Musical Theater. Welcome.
Thank you.
The school transition's kind of big for you guys.
My youngest is a junior this year at high school, so it's been a crazy morning.
Yeah, it is crazy this time of year. It's at the dealership we can kind of feel it because everything gets real intense there right
before school starts.
School starts in service in particular. For some reason. People are so busy in the summer, and of course school year brings a whole different kind of busy. And at Children's Musical Theater, your life changes. You've been busy all summer.
We've been very busy this summer. We had 2 camps, and our main stage show, Wizard of Oz, and we had a great summer. I think we had about 150 kids in all of our different programs this summer.
It's great how it activates the kids and gets them out there. I mean, and
keeps them off their phones, keeps them busy, keeps them doing stuff.
Wizard of Oz, that's a great show. And
it was fantastic. After the COVID years, that really hit theater stuff hard, and especially audiences, and I think we finally had our first really full audiences back this summer, so it was good for us.
And of course these kids start out doing this and they'll go on to great things. I mean, we've had many
absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how much good comes out of your children doing theater, doing the arts. Gives them confidence. They learn how to work with other kids. It's like we call it sports for non-sports kids because they learn all the same things. They have to learn challenges. They have to learn defeat, success.
We call it sparks at the dealership because it's like these things that start things. And so sports can do that. Arts, raising animals to show at the 4-H show every year. Maybe at the STEM Center, at the Boys and Girls Club, something might start where you get inspired to do something. So that's what we call it at the dealership. It's a neat thing. And so you've got some stuff coming up this fall, I know, and we'll talk about that in just a minute here. There's lots of other stuff going on in the community this weekend. I know there's a neat show that'll open tomorrow night at the Price Tower. A close friend of mine, ours, and my wife has known her for a long time. Ann Pollard has got an art show.
Nice.
Got something on it here, and she's a great lady. She is, like I said, a friend of my wife's. It's called Unconstricted. And the opening will be tomorrow night at 5:30 to 8, and we'll be out there. And of course, she'll have her show going there, and you'll get to see her art. And it's really really cool. Yeah. It's local artists from Tulsa, and like I said, family friend. So come see that. And the Love 66 Bistro is opened up.
I heard that. It looked good. I looked some of the pictures. It looked yummy.
We're excited about that. I know it's been anxious to as we waited to see what would materialize there. So it's great to see. And we've got lots of great news at the dealership, lots of stuff happening. The changeover to the 2024s is underway, and we've got new product arriving. The Grand Highlanders have been off to a great start. We got news this week of the next Land Cruiser that'll be coming, and some pictures of that. I've got, if you can check it out online, but there's one, and
that's beautiful.
It goes back a little bit more to its origin. Land Cruiser started as a real rough and tumble, like a Jeep or a Bronco or something, and then it kind of morphed into the high-end luxury SUV for Toyota. It was great. It was still as tough as any vehicle out there and had great resale value. But this kind of goes back to the origin. The Sequoia's taken the luxury high-end SUV spot. And this is going to go back to be more of what I'd say in today's world is more of a Bronco type vehicle. So
but those things are hot. So I think this is going to be a great vehicle.
We're super excited about that, and all the great product we have coming out. And so like I said, it's just a busy time of year. I'm leaving Sunday morning to go to the Ford, what they used to call the new car show, and it's a dealer meeting now, and we go through new product. We get to drive new cars. We'll go. I know there's a bunch of what they call Blue Cruise demonstrations where we're experiencing the new technology because it just keeps changing in the vehicles. And I drove I've got a 2023 Expedition. I just changed out of a 2022 into 2023, and it performs completely differently in that Blue Cruise technology, which is the stuff that lane keeping and safety driving. It'll actually, it does a lot of the driving. It doesn't really do it for you. It helps you. And, it's really, really cool technology. It's come so far in the last 10 years. Great. I remember those first ones when it would just kind of nudge you on the side, and it felt really creepy that something was
coming up,
nudging you.
Alive.
So, this stage school is what's coming up this fall, and so tell us about that. What is going on there?
Stage school are classes basically that we offer to kids age like 4 through about 16. She can go 17, we can say that. But a lot of the kids, after the summer gets over, they're trying to just keep those skills up. So we have acting classes, we have dance classes, and we have music classes. We have a lot of different types of dance. And so that's kind of what we're moving into in the fall. It's going to be exciting. And we have, itty bitties to the older kids, and so it's kind of a fun assortment. And then we try not to make it super formal, like where we have to, I came up from Orlando, and my daughter was in a dance company there, and they had to spend all this money at the end of the year to buy costumes and stuff for this big recital that they wore one time. So we have a huge costume shop. So what we do is we let our kids kind of pick their outfits out of our costumes and stuff, and at the end of the year we have like a showcase where we get to let the parents come and see them, and the kids get to dress up, and it's kind of like they work through the year to kind of get to that point. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And it fits in with the school year and
absolutely. And we just do it 2 nights a week. So on Tuesday and Thursday nights we have our different classes. People can access all those classes online. But for an example, some of our dance classes, we have tap, jazz. We have like musical theater dance, which is like where we dance songs like the same kind of choreography we would use in one of our shows. So it teaches kids how to learn choreography quickly, which is when they audition for shows, they usually get 20 minutes to learn a little section of a dance, and then they have to do that in front of the director to audition for that role to see how quickly that they can grasp. So these classes are really a good way to learn how to do that and learn it quickly.
They went to see Wizard of Oz last year, and they want to maybe be in a production next summer.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell people, especially if you want to get your kids involved, this is the great first step. You get to know us a little bit, they get to know other kids, and then it gets them involved in the process, and then they'll know all about like when we have auditions coming up and how to. Our classes also prepare the kids for the auditions.
My oldest did an audition once, and he didn't do the prep stuff, and it was kind of daunting in a way because a lot of them are experienced at that, and he did the school programs and the choir and jazz choir and stuff.
The schools here in Bartlesville have just such amazing arts. I love it that we came to this small town from like Orlando to this small town, and there's more arts opportunities for our kids here. And it's hard to believe, but it's true because they get so much in the schools, and a lot of the public schools in the big cities have taken a lot of those arts out. And then on top of that, you have CMT and you have all these community programs. It's a tremendous community for the arts.
It's a real testament to Bartlesville.
Absolutely.
It's great to hear you say that. And of course, growing up around here, it seems like that's just the way it is. Bartlesville's always been that way. But we do like to create those opportunities for people to get involved in things. And our kids are so important to us here.
Absolutely. It's exciting.
Great stuff. Always going on out there with the Children's Musical Theater. So I do have some more information on stuff we have coming in from Ford and Toyota. We've got great allocations announced this week. We got our Ford production that will start out and be produced in September and October and be here before the end of the year. Full lineup of vehicles of all the models. We've got a number of sold retail orders that are coming in. Order banks are now open for most of the 2024s. We'll have Bronco open here, Bronco Sport, Edge, Escape, Expedition is currently open. You've got Explorer opening this month. F-150's open already. Mustang's open. Put together an order on that just yesterday for someone. Super Duty is pretty much built out. We've got, as is Transit and Transit Connect, but there's some great opportunity if you want to get in and build your own Ford and schedule that. And right now we've got some incredible incentives with Ford, interest rates as low as 1.9 for 48 months and some other things that can help you keep your payment lower. That's one thing a lot of people are interested in now with the rise in interest rates and with the, we've got gas fuel prices going up again this summer. So it's costing a little bit more to drive your vehicle this year if you're trading new. And a lot of people have those great interest rates from a few years ago. And it's a big difference to go from 0% or 1 or 2, because they were doing 1.9 and things like that. And now the base rates are, typically from 6 to 7.5 and go up from there. So it is costing more to borrow money, but there's some ways we can work with you on that. There's special rates from Toyota and Ford. There's also some great opportunity with leasing. We're seeing more people that are interested in that. Leasing is a way to actually lower your payment, and it works in some situations. It's not for everybody, but if you are someone who likes to drive a relatively new vehicle, trade every few years, and have predictable miles, you can probably. I was doing one on a Tundra, and versus a 60-month standard rate, the lease was about $250 less a month. Wow. It was from about $750 on the it's about a $55,000 truck, $750 on a 60-month loan, and it was about $500, a little bit under $500 a month on the lease. It was a 10,000-mile lease for 33 months, so you kind of had to dial it in just right to get to that perfect payment. But that's what we can help you do, and there's a great tool on the website too, because that's how I found that one, was just the same way. You can go in, find the Tundra, you can toggle between lease and your payment. You do what they call a soft pull on your credit, which doesn't actually hit your credit bureau, so there's no effect on your credit score, but it allows you to access your credit. And then if you want, you can submit it directly to a bank there. But it really is giving you a tool to where you can kind of see what your payment's going to be on any particular vehicle and play with those incentives and the term of your loan and compare it to lease right there on your own. And I think that's a really great thing that's coming along in our industry now that makes it so much more transparent to buy the car and easier to understand what's going on there, and really to see things like that lease advantage. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I mentioned a week or two ago, we've got the Doenges Advantage program, our old, what we had Q certified before, has evolved, and we've, I think, improved. We realized that our, especially on the new vehicles, there's so much different technology and different warranties. The 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty just wasn't working for all our customers. Some people don't keep their vehicles that long, and the powertrain warranties that provided by the manufacturers have been extended and now cover those parts of the vehicle for longer than they used to. So we decided that rather than give that to you as a complimentary program when you purchase a new vehicle to us, that every new vehicle now gets a complimentary Zurich Shield Elite Plus exterior and interior protection for your vehicle. So this is really cool stuff. It's a ceramic product that goes on the paint on the outside of your vehicle, and it really smooths out all the divots in the paint. If you take a microscope and look at paint, you can't see it to the naked eye, but it has a lot of kind of like a golf ball, a lot of little ridges. That's where when you see your cars collecting the dirt and stuff, that when you wash it is hard to get off. A lot of times it's in those little dimples. And basically this stuff takes a ceramic product and smooths all that out. And you can just spray water on it and the stuff just falls off after you put it on there. And it also there's a product for the interior. So what we're thinking is this is going to help people maintain the value of their vehicle. It'll benefit everybody, right? How often have we spilled stuff in our new car and we're like, oh no.
I was going to ask you, Brad, where was this when I was raising all 7 of my kids?
So it's
almost teenagers.
Well, there you go. Interior is similar to like a Scotchgard product or something like that, where it just makes it easier to clean up. And it does. Our complimentary application to that comes with a 1-year insurance on that. So if you do have something that actually happens, they'll pay to replace the carpet or fix the paint, whatever it takes. So I think that's something that's a great value, and like I said, can help you maintain the resale value of your vehicle over the long term. And then on our used vehicles, we've expanded our certification program out to vehicles as old as 15 years and 150,000 miles. Previously, it was under 100,000 miles and only 10 years that we would go back. But with the quality of the vehicles today and people, just maintaining them better, and some vehicles really go further. It allows us to give you a 6-month, 6,000-mile powertrain warranty on your vehicle on the used side, which is a really great value if you think about it. If you're buying an older used vehicle, this is going to give you that peace of mind that the big parts of the vehicle, the powertrain, the transmission, engine, things like that, are going to be covered on a used vehicle. Like I said, up to 15 years old and 150,000 miles. So we feel like that's a really great value package for our customers, and so we've been switching over to that this month, and that's underway right now out at Doenges.
That's a pretty good switch,
don't you think?
I think so.
I think that's
very timely.
We're calling it better. We used to call it the better warranty, so now it's better. The other stuff we've had going on out there, Kobe and Bruce and the buying center have been really busy out there buying cars. They keep selling fast, so we've got to buy a lot more. And
those two are having fun.
I saw one. They got in a beautiful silver Camaro convertible, 2LT. I'm not a Chevy guy, but I think it's a 2LT. I think that's what it's called. And but it's a great looking hot car. There's a green army green Tacoma that has been well cared for, has the lift kit, a lot of accessories put on it. This is going to be great. It has a cell phone booster. I've never heard of this thing you can put on your car that's meant to take you, if you can use your cell phone out in the boondocks.
Wilderness somewhere,
or even just western Oklahoma.
Western Oklahoma.
Or Kansas,
anywhere in Kansas.
Osage County.
Anywhere west and north of Bartlesville.
Right.
So let's get back to Children's Musical Theater and what's going on there. I know we talked a little about last summer and this fall, but do you guys start planning for next summer already?
Oh, absolutely. And next summer is a big summer for us. It's going to be our 25th anniversary.
Awesome.
Which is huge for a children's nonprofit in a small community of this size. So, and we're thriving. I mean, all of our programs, when we do camps and we do these things, I mean, we're selling out, we're filling up. We had 45 kids in each of our camps. We don't have that big of a space, so that's a lot of kids in a small space.
Small,
and we're putting a show together. Those camps, we're putting a full show together in 3 weeks and 2 weeks. So it's amazing, like when these kids are focused, what they can accomplish. And then we have about 100-seat theater in our building. And every one of those, we do 4 shows because every one of them sold out. So, we do that, and then we go into our big program. Next summer, because it's our 25th anniversary, we're, fingers crossed, we're trying to do some big things. One of the things we want to do is we're starting to see, so kids that started out with CMT in 2000, and that when we started our program, now we're starting to see their children in our program. So it's kind of cool. We're into the second generation. Some of the parents who are volunteers, now their grandkids are coming. and being in our program. So next summer, what we're hoping to do is most of the artistic staff that we bring in, we want to be alumni of our program.
Cool.
So we're reaching out right now. We're starting to make phone calls like, do you guys want to come next summer and bring as many of the kids that started with CMT back to be the staff and to train the next generation? So we're super excited about it. You're going to see a ton of stuff about that.
A reunion feel.
A reunion feel. And so the first show CMT did in 2000, the summer of 2000, was Cinderella. And we're going to do Cinderella for our 25th anniversary. The reason we usually, if there's not a lot of shows that fit our criteria for children, family-friendly, large cast. So we have a certain, there's about 10 to 12 shows that we kind of rotate with our fingers crossed every year that something new will come out. Cinderella we haven't done since the first time because it's a smaller cast. It's a harder show to put 70 kids in. Like this summer with Wizard of Oz, we had 70 kids in that show. We'll probably have maybe 50 to 60 kids in Cinderella. It's harder to put smaller kids in Cinderella because it's a more grown-up show.
Right.
But we're going to do our best, and we still want everybody to come try out and just know, when your kids, if they don't make the main stage, we have these great camps that are really aimed towards younger kids, and it's a great experience. They have just as much fun, maybe a little bit less stress because they're not having to hit the big stage.
Well, they're in small groups.
They're in smaller groups, and they get to have all the same fun of learning to put a show together and having those roles and singing and dancing and being with their friends, which is really what the core of it is finding their people. That's what my kids say. I found my people in theater. Your kids will find their people in sports or in these other things, but our kids, they find their people in theater. And the theater kids sometimes are the kids that don't maybe always fit in everywhere else. And it's such a great community of just kids that just love being together. They love working together. They really make friends and make their community there. And we like my kids. My kids have both done CMT since we moved here 9 years ago. Every summer we've done it. That's how I got involved, And I'm kind of sad because next summer will be my daughter's last show. His daughter Katie has also been doing stuff with Sophie in the high school. It'll be her last show. So it'll be kind of an end of an era for me with my children, but I'm excited because I've gotten to watch these kids grow up through this program.
A great thing.
Yeah.
And the stage school this fall is a great program to help get started.
Absolutely. It's the best way to get your kids started in our program. People call me all the time, where do I start? It's start with stage school. You can take one class, you can take three classes, whatever your kid feels comfortable with. I also tell parents all the time, I'm a lot of these programs, you take a class, there's no flexibility. If your kid comes and tries a class and they're that doesn't really fit me.
So if I start in tap,
if you start in tap and you're I don't really like tap, I want to try jazz. We're yeah, let's just move you around. It's we're very flexible. We want your kid to find where they fit, where they belong. We're not high stress. We're just we want kids to have fun and we want them to learn along the way. We're not there's a great Civic Ballet is a fantastic program in this town, and ballet is a very strong discipline. We don't do ballet, because our kids are learning dance for theater, and it's a little bit different type dance. It still is a discipline, but we try to ease them up from young age and make it fun so that, they're not so worried about the dance and stuff. We really want to just get them accustomed to how to audition and how to do that, and then along the way they just get better and better. I've watched these kids just become tremendous dancers. Some
of them go on to careers, go on to college in the arts, and many have actually.
And part of the thing that's so cool about next summer bringing in alumni is we have so many of these kids that have gone out. They've studied music. They're music teachers in town. They're music teachers all around the country. We have a couple that have gone to Broadway. We have some kids that have gone into the tech aspect of theater and have Brad Gray. He's one of the best lighting designers on Broadway. He came from this town. So we have so many alumni that are out there working in the arts, and that's our ultimate goal.
And back to the stage school, how much does it cost, and how do people find out more information, and if they want to find out times and enroll?
So classes and times are on our website at cmtonstage.com. And you can just scroll down, you'll see it says stage school. You can click the information button and it'll tell you all about it. Classes are very affordable. They're $50 a month. And then if you do 3 classes, we'll give you a $25 discount. So that's $125 a month for 3 classes. And then what they are is that class is 1 day a week for 4, so So your $50 gets you 4 classes a month, basically.
Awesome.
So very affordable, very fun. And we offer scholarships. We want this program to be available to all kids. So we have donors that give us money so that we can offer scholarships all the time. It's always available.
Don't let that stop you if it sounds like
Absolutely. Do not let that stop you. If you want to try this, your kid wants to try this, you just give me a phone call. We're going to make it happen for you.
You must be doing something right to keep coming back. That's a lot.
No, it's a great program. It's 25 years. That's awesome. And with Cinderella coming up next year, I'm sure you'll have a lot of kids interested in that.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Every little girl will probably show up in their Cinderella dress, which is what we have.
Well, that's so cool. And so for first day of school to everybody, and summer getting near the end of summer anyway, and the changeover to 2024s with all our brands, Toyota and Ford, and lots of new vehicles in stock and in the pipeline. I mentioned all that. There's a great selection of Toyotas right now. The inventory keeps building, and we're going to have probably at the end of the month our largest inventory of Toyotas since before the pandemic.
Wow, that's good news.
August is ad valorem. It's the end of the fiscal year for the regional distributor of Toyotas, so they have to pay ad valorem tax on stuff sitting on the ground in Houston. At the end of the month, so they're going to ship everything they possibly can.
Yours for now.
It happens every August, but we're building. We should have lots of inventory, all kinds. I was looking. There's RAV4, Sequoia, Sienna, Highlander, Grand Highlander, Crown. Everything you can imagine. I'm going to leave
Crown's
them all
a beautiful
out.
vehicle.
So many models. It's too many to reel off on just from memory anymore. I used to do it. I think when I started or came to Bartlesville and about 23, 24 years ago, there were like 17 models in our different brands, and I think now there are over 33.
My husband's been talking to me about that new Land Cruiser. He's very excited about
that one. We're excited for
You'll
that.
You'll have a visitor today, Brad. Just saying.
The Bronco order bank is open too. We've got a lot of people have been asking about that, and we've got those coming. We should have our first 2024 Mustang, which is an all-new Mustang.
Oh, nice.
Should land any time now. I looked this morning, and there aren't any that have hit dealership lots yet. So they're just on the verge. But we've got a beautiful black GT. Will be our first one here.
Oh,
and we're putting together retail orders on that now. We've got other stuff coming up with the. I mentioned the opening of the Love 66 Bistro at Price Tower. That is open. They're going to have their grand opening on August 15th, so a big party there. And don't forget about Ann Pollard James' new show, Unconstricted, that opens tonight in a special members opening, 5:30 to 8. And she's like I said, a family friend, and her show is about challenging the notion of literally and figuratively by encouraging women to boldly take up space.
Awesome. Yeah.
So it should be very interesting.
Very good.
So come see us out at the dealership if you get a chance today, folks. We've got a great service team ready to help you there. We've talked the last few weeks about our Ford pickup and delivery program. That's going great as we're fine-tuning that program. So if you want more information and don't have time to get into the dealerships, give us a call, and we may be able to come do a pickup and delivery for you.
Nice. Red carpet service. You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
we try to provide.
Going first class.
So come.
Feeling like Thurston Howell.
You want us to pick up your Flex, Tom?
No,
you need
it's
service?
running right.
Okay.
You know, it's running.
You don't
We
need
just got the
maintenance?
tires and the oil change.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. I don't mind driving in to get that done.
Well, we'll come pick it up.
I know, but I like visiting with the guys. They're good.
That's good. Yeah, no, this month we're going to lose Steve Miller, who's one of our longtime service advisors
Oh, really?
on the
Yeah.
Ford side. He's going to retire at the end of the month, so we're actually interviewing to replace him, and got several internal candidates too. But there's lots of great openings at the dealership now. If you have interest, go see our website at dungeschoice.com.
How can we find you just driving down the old roadside?
At 1901 and 1911 Southeast Washington Boulevard, and we're right there on the west side of Highway 75. You'll see the big blue oval and the red Toyota monolith.
And that, of course, the west side is the best side, folks. And you have been watching and listening to our